So that's it.
Yeah.
No, there's more reasons.
Is that your
I
answer?
can-
No. Listen. Yes, the thing is what Brian is saying is that men value the experiences of women less than they value their physical characteristics. Now, that can grow. That can grow over time where you value them for other things other than just their physical beauty. But it seems apparent to me, and it's apparent according to this study that I have pulled up in front of me, which says that men, so when they're investigating the age span, women reported a narrow age range than men, and women tended to prefer slightly older men. Makes sense? We also show that men's age range widens as they get older, meaning they still have a preference towards younger women. Doesn't mean they can get them, but they still have a preference. Why? Now, this may come as news to you. Perhaps your prefrontal cortex is not completely developed yet, but the gal next to you is going to tell you the same thing that I am. It's the same thing that she knows. Men like to young, hot women. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
So
No, I'm right.
what is the reason for that? What is the reason then?
Hold on.
What do you think?
So the reasoning from your worldview would be due to reproduction.
Well,
Younger
I have
women
a lot
have
of
more
guy
babies.
friends, and thank you, Andrew. A lot of guy
Final
friends.
Wave Feminism donated $200.
They don't want all the
I'm
baggage.
39.
They don't want
millionaire.
all the
Don't date
the older
women over
women that
30.
have
Hold on.
married.
It's nature. Men want a family, not a partner. Sex equals children. Even the stripper admitted dating is harder 30 plus as a woman.
Did she?
She did, but
Wait,
she was
so
saying
hold on. Let's
different
get into this.
context.
So, okay. First off, it's not clear. Like, do you think that all women at 25, their personality is just like dog shit, they're terrible human beings, and then at 35, they're magically the best partners ever, and they treat you the best?
No, you're going to two extremes right now. I never said that.
I'm actually what
You're
I've,
putting that in
what
my
I've
mouth.
actually experienced is as women get older, they tend to get actually more malevolent as they get older.
And you're not.
Wrong women.
And are you
What?
not? Like, because you look
if a
pretty
woman-
malevolent
that's-
right now.
Sure, if a woman doesn't
For
want to
being
date
real.
me because I'm more jaded
What?
and I've had more experiences,
Wait,
I
how
don't
does
give
he
a
look
fuck.
malevolent?
He's like, what? Really? All right, let's roll it
Yeah,
back.
really.
Roll the clips back.
Yeah, well, let's roll it back. You tell me why. How does Brian look malevolent? He's having a straight-up conversation with
Okay.
you where he's explaining
All right, we can be
the
delusional,
worldview
too.
paradigm differential.
What-
How
okay.
would that be malevolent?
He's literally like, who would want to date him then? Like,
What
let's
does
be
that have-
real. He's being like so bitter about this.
Bitter about what?
Like,
How am I
why
being
would a
bitter?
girl that age want to date you then?
Kid.
What?
Because she wants his
I'm
resources.
about to leave because this is really dumb.
What's that? You're
I
about
don't
to
know.
leave. Why?
No, your conversation you're having, first of all, the way that
It's dumb?
you're speaking
How am
about
I-
women. No, I didn't
how
say
am I
I didn't
speaking?
say the conversation.
Okay,
I
go
said
ahead.
This
Go ahead.
is dumb.
Make
I
your
didn't
point.
say that.
Yeah, this is dumb. Okay, go ahead. Make your point.
I mean, the way you're talking about women in their 30s is absolutely disgusting.
What
Yeah,
did I
it's,
say?
like,
No, tell me
horrid.
specifically what I
Like,
said.
they have baggage. They have high. I'm sorry. They have baggage. They have high bodies. Like, you're making these blanket general statements about women. That's absolutely disgusting.
And we're
I
all
do
gonna
not
be
want to
disgusting.
read
in, like,
That's a
5
fair,
years
hang
and
on,
come
that's a
like
totally
that.
fair criticism.
That's disgusting
Totally fair,
to me.
fair
I'm gonna be
criticism.
honest
So
with
let
you
me just
right
ask
now.
you.
I
if
wish you
this is
love,
way
light, and
off base-
healing. I am about to leave because I don't want to be around you.
Hang on. Before you leave, can I just ask, I just want to ask you one question. And we'll just see if this logically, I'm just going to test your logic really quick. Do you think that women in their 20s generally have less baggage than women in their 30s? Yes or no?
Do
Generally.
I think women in their 20s have less baggage in their 30s? I think it depends on the woman because I feel in my heart. Generally, I don't. It's possible, yes, but what I want to say.
Yeah, what do you
Brian,
think
really
though?
Fast,
Do you think that
really
generally women who are in their 30s have more baggage than women in their
You
20s?
say
Hold on.
baggage.
Wait. Before you
Can I
say your
talk?
thing, hold on. Before you
Can
say
I
your
talk?
thing, let me actually just not make this a gendered thing. Men, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, as you get older, you go through more experiences, and some of those are positive experiences, some of those are negative experiences. So both men and women accrue trauma and baggage as they age. In
that
recent
makes sense.
years, I've dealt with very difficult things that I didn't deal with a while back. It's just the reality of being older. So I'm straight, I date women, so I'm gendering it because, yes, I'd rather date somebody who's perhaps in their, a younger woman who's maybe 25, for example. Don't get me wrong, I find women who are in their 30s attractive. In fact, I've dated women in their 40s. I've dated women older than me. So it's not like I'm exclusively going after like college girls. I'm not. But what I am saying is that if they want to date me and I want to date them, I don't see any problem with dating a 25-year-old.
Okay, yeah, I don't see a problem dating 25.
that's
I'm
fine.
with a 38-year-old.
But-
I don't see a problem
I'm just,
with that.
you're saying I'm using these generalizations. I mean, we are talking about generalizations here. Obviously, there's women in their 30s who are virgins. But, I mean, the reality is a woman
Not
who's...
many.
Not many. So
Yeah.
you're upset about me. It's disgusting that I'm talking about body count. Like, realistically speaking, a woman at 35 is going to have more bodies than however many bodies she had at 25.
But you're valuing
Because
a
of body
woman
count.
because of her body count, her
Yep.
baggage.
So what's wrong with that?
But what if,
I'm not
kinda
allowed.
see it-
Hold on.
so
I'm not.
should you be able to date no one? Who are you dating then?
How
If
is that
the
relevant?
Same
No, I'm
logic.
not.
How is that relevant?
Who are you
What if I
dating?
told you I was
Let's
dating a
talk first.
19-year-old?
That'd be kind of weird.
How?
Yeah.
Why would
I
that?
don't know.
Well,
She
okay.
With the
Just
same
turned
logic, who would
19,
want to
that's
date
a
you
little
then?
What are you
Let's put that
talking-
same logic onto
Nobody
you.
has to date me.
I know, but I'm
Nobody
like,
has to
use
date
that
me.
logic on yourself though. Like, who would want to date you then?
People who
What?
are women who are
Because you're
interested in
saying like
resources.
people that are younger are better. So
I'm
then
talking
the pool
about
is
me.
smaller for you
but
too.
okay, but I'm talking about me. These are people who I'm choosing to date or not to date. So if a woman doesn't want to, and first off, actually, yes, plenty of women don't want to date me because of this podcast. That's totally fine. I don't object to it at all. If you don't like my viewpoints on political things or my viewpoints on gender dynamics, you don't want to date me, don't care. That's fine.
Okay, well, I was saying before that.
Go ahead.
So in terms, I think you're allowed to have your personal preference. I'm sorry, I came off the wrong way when I stated that.
Yeah, you said
I
it was,
heated.
you felt
Okay.
disgusted.
No,
because
but I was
don't want-
disgusted
Is it
about
di-
this. Can I-
About the body count thing?
No, about the
That's what you said, though.
That's a
That's
part of
one
it,
of
but
the
she has more to
aspects
say.
of
Okay,
the
one of the
general
aspects.
essence
Okay, go ahead.
of what I was saying.
Sure.
I was disgusted in the way in which you were. So number one, you changed after. I understand you were focusing your conversation directed exactly at women and women only, and it sounded like. But yes, you changed after, so you did change it. That's what I'm saying now. You were generalizing it towards all women only, and not like
Well-
men. Or on the other
well,
hand,
you-
where
Well, I do want to qualify that I don't share Brian's opinion on this. I do think that men, as they get older, do have less baggage than women generally.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think that it's even, Steven. And I do think that generally speaking, if we're generalizing again, men tend to have less baggage in their 30s and 40s, far less, in fact, because they become much more resource rich. And as you know, money can solve a lot of problems.
This is a meme.
And
You can't
so
be
I do think
serious
that they
right
end
now.
up
Like,
with less
yeah.
baggage than women. I do.
I personally think for me and I'm going to say this word again that you guys don't like, but in the sphere of consciousness that I focus on, the people that I'm surrounded by it's like almost like a different reality. I mean, it's honestly
Yeah.
insane.
You mean like they don't care if a woman's had gangbangs and slept with like 30,
No,
40,
I'm not
50,
talking
60,
about
100
that.
dudes?
I'm not talking about that.
Well-
I'm talking about
That's such a
being
wild
able
example.
when it comes to
rare.
perceived baggage. I'm saying the ability as you grow as a human in age, physical
Wait,
age,
let me-
that you grow within your being.
Well, so let me ask you a question, right? So you mentioned body count, or you mentioned you thought my view was disgusting for a couple reasons. One, that I judge women, I would perhaps not date a woman because of her body count and because of her baggage. If I didn't want to date a woman because she stubbed her toe once and she yelped out, what would actually be wrong with that? Like, make an actual argument. Make an actual argument why perhaps you find that absurd, but make an actual argument for why it would be wrong and disgusting for me to not want to date a woman who once stubbed her toe.
I mean, if that's
And
what
she
you
has
wanna
trauma
do.
and baggage.
Yeah,
from that.
everybody's got their personal
Yeah, if,
preferences.
if that's what you want
But
to
so
do.
okay, so is it
can still
wrong?
say something
But
about
is
it.
it?
That's still
why
weird.
is it then? I mean, that was an extreme example. Why is it disgusting for me to disregard a woman in terms of my dating prospects because she has baggage?
No, I understand what you're saying. What I said in terms of discussing is that you were focusing on specifically women and not as a general statement for women and men. But
Well,
then
I'm
you
straight.
changed it.
I only date
No,
women.
No, but then you changed it. And I said, okay, this was.
Yeah, you did change
Well,
it.
the only
You changed
reason
it.
What did I
the only
change? What did I
reason that he
change?
changed
You
it was
said
to say.
But I don't even. Well, maybe you
Because
can
he was
help me
acting
out
like
here,
it was
'cause
just
I don't actually
women.
understand.
Yeah,
now. I
he-
thought I
he
was
was
tracking
just
with
acting
you,
like it was
but
just
now I
women, and then you
actually
changed
now I
it.
actually don't
No, he-
understand.
he
Maybe you can help me out.
He was only
Wait,
changing.
one second, one second, Andrew.
Donated $200. My P3N1S finds itself confused by this paradox. Younger women should have less baggage, but these chicks are so toxic, I suddenly find myself extremely attracted to slightly
yeah.
older Texans.
Good.
Hey, don't forget Dolphin. Oh, she's gone. She's not.
Dolphin from
She's
Texas,
coming
though?
back. She's coming back.
Maybe you can help me out
I got it right here
because
for ya.
I was tracking everything you were saying.
No, I was
and
saying-
it was making sense. Let me just ask a
Whatever
question.
bro donated $200. Obviously women don't only look for money, but money is important. Ladies may not like it, but you exist in it. You can push forward to change, but also have to exist and live with what's now.
All right. Thank you, whatever, bro. Thank you, Nickelodeon. Go ahead, Andrew.
I don't actually understand what the problem is if you're having a conversation, you're focusing on just generalizations for women only, and you're not bringing up men. I actually don't even know why that's a problem.
Because it works both ways for men and women. That statement.
Yeah, right. But if the topic, like if about dogs,
Oh,
if we're having a conversation about dogs, and I say, okay, we're going back and forth about all the problems that dogs have and this and that, would you then say, but this also applies to cats, and it offends me that we're not bringing up cats as well as dogs? That doesn't make any actual sense to me.
But the thing was that we weren't talking about specifically
That's
women. We
different.
were
Wait,
just
but
talking
also
about
though,
dating in general. Wait,
Brian
But that's
does
what your
that.
objection was that
He
you were
literally
he was
does
only
that,
talking about women.
But he does that
But
too. Like
we
he'll
were
bring up the
talking
most
about dating in
outlandish
okay, wait,
examples.
wait. But we were talking about dating in general. We weren't talking about specifically women. He was specifically talking about women, but the overall arching topic we were talking about was dating in general. It was not focused specifically on women until Brian made it that way.
Well,
Yeah,
And
right.
that's when-
But that's
and
my whole
that's what I
point, right?
said.
I get that he made it that way. I just don't know why that's a problem.
Because I want to focus on both ends. Because you guys always focus on women all the time and not on the other opposite side of the scale.
Okay.
I
Of
think
men.
I think that really the issue
it's
here.
totally fair to say I would also like to talk about men. That's fine. But I don't know why you would be offended if the conversation goes to generalizations about women, even absent
Because-
talking
No,
about
wait,
men. That
wait,
makes
wait.
no
Can
sense.
we
to me.
just
because
can I
the
just say this though? I
generalization.
don't think that it's all just about like I think it's the way he speaks about women
Tone,
in
please.
many contexts on the show
It's the tone.
that we've seen it before. So I feel like
That tone?
Yeah.
You don't like the tone?
No, it's not the
What
tone.
tone?
Let's be
It's-
real.
no,
But-
I mean. The tone is sometimes part of it. I just feel like it's just the way
Yeah.
Tone,
the
like-
things that he brings back, the way he counters. It's not a friendly debate. It's not a fun debate. Like it's very like targeted. It can get like low key kind of nasty. Like I'm not saying anything bad, but I'm just like this is just kind of facts of this show. Like so, there people
hold on. I could just return.
people can feel uncomfortable by that. So.
Well, I mean, I could just,
Got the hiccups.
I could just turn. I don't know if you guys were talking about Andrew or me. I could just reverse this at you. You said cringe. You said disgusting. You also said that men
Yes.
who are attracted to women, you pathologized men who are attracted to women with little or no body hair, calling them
that's
PDF files.
I said